Hey there, welcome back to Cisco Reads Books. Today we got a book review for you for Military Thriller Thursday. Unfortunately, we won't be reviewing Scott McEwen's Sniper Elite One-Way Trip because I haven't finished it yet. So we're jumping back into the Dreamland series and we're reviewing Dreamland Razor's Edge. I'll read you the back. Sorry about my voice. I got some weird shit going on. The weapon is codenamed Razor, the brainchild of the brilliant minds of Dreamland, a mobile chemical laser system with a range of 600 kilometers, capable of downing anything that flies. The destruction of an American aircraft over northern Iraq suggests the inexplicable and unthinkable. A vengeful foe now possesses the lethal technology. It is fear that draws a retired warrior back to the battlefield and sends Dreamland's best pilots to the skies to determine what the enemy has and to help take it away from him. But political threats to crush a covert engagement that must be won in the air and on the ground, unleashing a devastating rain of friendly fire that could ultimately annihilate a nation's champions and perhaps Dreamland itself. So, Razor's Edge is a fantastic book. We follow the team as they go and look for this experimental laser over Iraq, and it involves all of the team. The Stratofortresses that are flying, the EB-52s, and both of the Stockards and crew, as well as Dog Bastion. And then we also follow Danny Free as he's on the ground looking for these lasers to try and put them out of commission. Just another fantastic book in the Dreamland series. This book leads into some stuff that heightens the political tension that we already see in basically every book so far. Dreamland has been threatened with shutdown. So it continues that theme of, if you're going to do the covert whiplash actions like we're doing in every book so far, that the whiplash action needs to, come out on the right side of things. And it can't cause extra political turmoil for Martindale, our president at the time, in the books. So going into that, and this book is more almost like a mystery, like a military mystery, because they're trying to figure out and pinpoint where this laser is coming from. So they're using all the computer wizards at Dreamland and the flights about to try and search for this for a specific signature that the weapon gives off right before it fires. And unfortunately for many of crews of like F-15s and stuff that are flying over Iraq in the midst of like the no-fly zone era in Iraq, obviously it's not working out so well because they're downing quite a few planes. But the real threat is that, with a 600 kilometer range, this thing can reach into space and shoot down satellites and stuff, especially if it's tweaked more than like the danger to space assets is going to be well above what we can handle. So finding out basically what country has control of this, which I won't go too far into because that's one of the big reveals at the end, is like what country actually made this thing. And it's one that, you wouldn't be surprised given, modern circumstances. But this book is just a banger. As usual, from Dale Brown, we get another installment into the series that's just amazing. And yeah, it hits on all cylinders. it really just propels the storyline forward. You know, we lose a couple characters, we gain a couple characters in this book from people that we lost in the last book, Nerve Center. So it's just, you know, it's one of those military thrillers that really kind of puts you in the seat, and even like the characters that you know and love, like you never really feel as though you're safe. um, and that they're just, oh yeah, of course, you know, Dog and uh, the Stockards and all of them are just, oh yeah, they're all going to be okay. No, no, you worry about them, and you know, like even as they come out of things, like it doesn't mean that they're not battered. It doesn't mean that they're not scarred by the experience, which leads into, you know, traumas in the next book or in the later series. Like, so yeah, Dale Brown does a really good job of like, even if it is a continuing character, making sure that they have, you know, baggage, and it's not always clear cut if they're going to make it out, which is typical in like some of the series that you read. Like you know that they're gonna go, and you know they're gonna make it out, and like, you know, that's also what I liked about like other series as well, is like when you put that main character in danger where your reader is not sure if they're going to make it at all. um you know, that's the way to write a series, because like, yeah, even though he's the staple character, you know, his name is the series, you know, it doesn't always mean that everything's going to be all right. But yeah, Dreamland Razor's Edge is just a phenomenal book. Like I said, my usual complaints, they're only ever in paperback, um, which I do like my mass market paperbacks, but you know, I want them in hardcover so I can have them in hardcover. So we need to get on that. But other than that, thank you for hanging out with me on this Military Thriller Thursday. And until next time, read, because reading is fundamental. Also, I apologize for whatever is going on with my voice.